Me, I am a memoir. I am a memoir. Going deep in the regular verse. Going to the regular verse.
Hello, Lamely, and welcome back to the Fleshlight Nicole Kidman story. Where the fleshlight casing is played by Daphne Zuniga.
Is she in that Melrose Place podcast?
I'm so excited about the Melrose Place podcast. That's what everyone should be listening to, not whatever the fuck this is. But you know what? They don't talk about Nicole Kidman fleshlights, so that's our hook, our angle is the Nicole Kidman fleshlight.
It's not what we're talking
I am
about.
a memoir branded Nicole Kidman fleshlight with Diamantes
Spare skin fleshlight.
via J-Lo.
It's genuine spare
God.
skin.
Yeah. So we are back in the Regularverse to hopefully maybe try and continue the Fabnopsis of the greatest love story never told, because we did get a little bit sidetracked.
We got a little bit sidetracked, yes.
But that is half the fun. These things need to be discussed and discussed. So are we ready to get the lowdown on the down low of this film?
Yeah. Getting the lowdown on the down low.
So we're just going straight in. So I need to Fabnopsize you
Yeah, go.
again. I guess that's the hard part of doing this over so many weeks. Okay, what was another song? A Fabnopsis. A Fabnopsis. Greatest love story that we never ever tell. Fabnopsis.
All right, just quick recap. We should bring
okay.
back the How About a Recap song.
No, you have to do it.
How about a recap? I don't remember how it goes.
It was something like that.
Anyway, quick recap. Jen's making the movie. No one wants to pay for it, so she's got to pay for it. And they're talking about cutting things. And she's like, you're not cutting any of the good things. You have to cut the bad things. I don't know how there's a difference, but they're like, cut scenes. She's like, no, we won't cut any scenes. But I think as we go on through this, we'll discover they may have cut some scenes. By the way, all of this budget bullshit talk comes with a soundtrack of David Bowie and Queen singing Under Pressure, because I'm guessing none of her songs are good enough to convey this concept of pressure.
Oh no.
Like, honestly, it's a movie about someone who's making a movie of an album of songs, and instead you're playing David Bowie and Queen, which says a lot. So, and then this is
she had, in the edit, she'd put Byler in there.
Right.
But the editor was like, no, I think we're going to go, we got clearance for Queen and Bowie.
For Queen and Bowie.
So we're going to go.
She's
with
like,
that.
oh, no, I think for this scene, because it's about having had enough of these budget pressures, the song I sang from the film Enough would have been really appropriate.
Do you know what it probably is? She's like, I have already paid so much for this movie. I do not have enough money to pay myself. So we're going to have to go with the budget artists that are David Bowie and Queen.
Yeah.
You know?
They're very expensive.
They're not going to argue.
Like, I know they're dead.
What are they going to say? Yeah. But she's worth way more. So
like, seriously.
she's like, I would charge too much. Don't go with me.
Like, really. Like, she had nothing. Nothing? Not even Don't Be Fooled by the Rocks That I Got? Love Don't Cost
Bit
a
of broken
Thing.
like broken like me.
There's no song that covers what's going on here. Anyway, so part of the discussion about budgeting is Jen wondering how muddy the mud is going to be.
Oh my God. Mud umbrella chat. This is my favorite. I've got two favorite parts, but this is one of them.
How muddy is the mud going to be?
Yeah.
Ben comes into one of her costume fittings where she's wearing what looks like some gaffer tape, and she says, "Do I look too fat?"
Oh my God.
And he says, "Too skinny." And I'm really worried about her self-esteem at this moment because not only can she not make a decision about mud, but she thinks she's fat. Like,
And
it's
on
J-Lo.
top of it, I know. And on top of this, I'm sitting there thinking, Ben likes a fat, untalented bitch. Why isn't he with me?
I know.
You know, like he wants her to be bigger. I'm bigger.
Like, who was his girlfriend before Jen? Was like Anna Diarmas. Like, she's stunning.
Yes.
Like, I don't know.
It's Jen. The thing that really is highlighted in this is that Jen has some deep-seated insecurities.
Jen has
And
some
it was-
problems.
And it did come across real.
Yeah.
Like, there's not many moments
Do I
of
look too fat?
reality in
Yeah.
this.
And she's basically
But
like,
it
her
was like-
boobs look spectacular because she's like, they're barely
Spectacular.
covered and they
Yeah,
are
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And the rest of her is like, there's nothing there. And
She's
the fittest person alive. And she's like, do I look too fat?
Literally.
And I'm like,
know.
this scene says way more than she thinks it does. Anyway, then she's at rehearsal. There's a lot of rehearsal in this movie. She goes to rehearsal
There
a
is.
lot.
Yeah.
She's at rehearsal and talking about how Anthony Ramos, he's in Twisters at the moment,
Yes.
which I saw, and the twister catches on fire.
Oh, no. Does it really? Yes. What?
Such a bad film. Like, I laughed out loud when the twister caught on fire.
Oh, my God. My question about the movie,
Yes.
because I have been told it's a sequel to the first one,
Yes.
Twister. I was like, is it the same Twister? Like,
Oh, the one
has
that
it
the one that
just-
hunted down Helen Hunt's family in the
Yes.
first one.
Has it just come back like Michael Myers? Like,
Well,
it just went away for a little while.
You know,
and it
I've
circles
seen
back.
I've seen the new one, and I love the original. And the only recurring character is the weather. So
Yeah.
I think maybe it is. Like other than that, the only other recurring character is the whizzy things that they send up into the twister. Like they're in it briefly at the start.
Oh, yes.
Which it's so bad. It's really.
No.
You know what? It's not bad enough to be.
He should have done.
hilarious.
He should have done Jen's movie.
He should have done Jen's movie. It's not bad enough to be really camp. It's just like.
Just not
It's
good.
just like, oh, now the twister's caught on fire. I would have enjoyed this more if this movie was worse. This on fire twister.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It's so stupid. Anyway, so Anthony Ramos was meant to be in this, and he was going to be the boyfriend in the glass building that bashes her up.
Right.
But he can't do it because he's friends with Mark Anthony. So she films herself on the phone to Anthony Ramos without his permission. So weirdly, his voice isn't used because she has to get him in the film somehow. It's like he doesn't agree to be in the film, but I'm going to make him be in here on the phone.
Yeah.
And then
him.
he doesn't get a word in because she Jensplains the whole situation. And she tells the same story to her wardrobe supervisor, Beezy, at rehearsal. And basically, she's trying to justify to Anthony Ramos, it's like, no, Mark didn't bash me up. That was a different thing.
Yeah, this isn't about my life.
It's meta, and it's like, yeah, like she doesn't sound at all convincing. That
No.
that what she's saying is like, no, that's not a real thing that happened. It's, and I'm like, yeah, don't tell us it's
I'm
autobiographical.
not even playing myself.
I'm not even. I'm playing. Yeah. So I can understand not wanting to play someone that you're friends with who then beats the crap out of
Yeah.
their ex-wife in a dance sequence.
Yeah.
Not okay. Then there's a meeting with the casting director about who they're waiting to hear back from. Taylor Swift has said no. Jennifer Coolidge has said no. Jason Momoa has said no. Like, what is Jason Momoa doing that he can say no to this? But, he's busy.
He's on the Kelly Clarkson show.
Like, he's Batman's bestie, like, in the movies. So he and Ben are totes mates. So why?
Okay.
Yeah. Ariana Grande's not available. Vanessa Hudgens is not available. Not that Jen has any idea what she
What do
would
I
do.
need? Yeah, why would I? What are you talking about?
Who would
Is
she be?
Is she getting our lunch? Like, what?
Jen wants Bad Bunny, but we've seen the film. He's not in it, so she didn't get him. Derek Huff can't do it because he has a wedding.
Oh my God.
But he's in the
This-
movie.
This moment when they're explaining to Jen that Derek is in a wedding is that this is my single favorite moment in the movie where she's like, who's what? The look on her face.
Like, what do you mean he's in a wedding? There's a wedding in this film. Like that he's in a wedding.
Yeah, no. It's as if it's not that she's saying, "Oh, that's not good enough. He needs to be here." It's almost like that actually doesn't compute. Like I'm rejecting that answer because it doesn't make sense.
You know what it feels like? It feels like she goes, "No, other people don't have weddings. I have weddings.
Yeah, I have 3 in this movie.
I have 3 in this movie, but I have weddings. I've had 4 weddings, nearly 5, but he didn't turn up. But I've had 4. But no, other people don't have weddings.
Yeah, it was literally like,
and they don't have Derek Huff at their weddings.
She was like,
it was so
like Jen.
Strange.
I loved her. It's my favorite. It's my favorite part of the whole film.
Sorted that shit out because he's in it.
Exactly.
This is like my favorite moment came just after your favorite moment, which is when we find out that Khloe fucking Kardashian said no.
And that Jen, like her friend's like, oh, so she's in it. And she's like, no. Like, I wanted her. She was meant to be in it, but she's not.
She's not. Khloe Kardashian said no. Yeah. And then Jen has like a little one of her 327 teary meltdowns because this entire like 2-hour documentary is Jen crying about shit. So this one, people are scared or they've read the script.
But she does like say that at some point.
Yeah.
Where she's like, you know, sometimes when I read a script, I just say, oh, I'm not available. But that means I don't like the script.
I don't like the script.
And so it's like, so obviously she thinks that that's what people are doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she doesn't change the script.
No, I'll leave it.
Jen keeps biting her nails, which looks difficult because they're huge and big and plastic and stuff on. But she fucking chews on them like there's no tomorrow. And then she dances with an umbrella.
Yes.
that she has to make a choice about.
Oh my God. The choice of umbrellas. That's my second. Like, yeah. So basically, the moment of the Derek Huff wedding, the mud.
The mud.
That I want to watch.
Is the mud muddy enough? There's more mud to come. That's not even the first mud. Like, there's more mud. There's so much mud in this movie.
I want to watch an hour and a half of Jen trying to get away from a rehearsal that's not actually happening, with thousands of people running up to her going, which umbrella, Jen? What kind of mud? And then her going, I don't want to talk about the mud anymore. Just put some water on that mud. And then they'd be like, but no, we'll show you.
Make
which
the crumbly,
mud?
dry mud
red,
wet, and then I'll be
red
fine.
or blue, Jen. And she's like, I already just make it wetter. I don't understand.
The mud.
Like,
oh, that's yet to come.
oh, is it? Oh, we're not even there.
That's not even
God.
this bit. That's a different bit. But
God.
that mud scene is also amazing. So she says that Ben is really uncomfortable with her doing this whole thing. He explains
Ben also says he's really uncomfortable.
He explains he understands where it's coming from, that she's an artist. People call her an artist, and she says art so many times in this movie. Those words have lost their meaning for me. Like Ben's, like seriously, stop saying artist and artistry and this is my art and she's an artist. And I'm like, none of this is art. This is trying to sell a terrible album that wasn't any good. Like this is
don't come for my gig, Jen. Jesus.
It's too much. And then my favorite, oh my God, this is amazing. Ben says, things that are private are meant to be private and sacred. And he goes, this has been an adjustment.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Then she has a cry about how he makes her feel valued. Then she has a cry about Jane Fonda being protective of her relationship. And then Elaine says it's insane and the director thinks it's too ambitious. Which is all true.
Yeah.
All right, we're up to the first day of shooting. Are you prepared?
Never.
It's in an entirely green room. And Jen finds out she can't dance on the conveyor belt because it will stop if anyone gets on it. And also, there's no electricity for the conveyor belt for the next 2 weeks. Then Jen has to go. As soon as she's approved some umbrellas and mud.
Yes. Oh my god! It's wild that I thought we were already past this.
No,
but no, this is the longest
how
movie
long the
ever
movie
told.
is going for. I know, and I've
yeah.
cut out heaps. Like I've just skipped ahead through things that were boring, because so much of it is very boring.
This is my favorite part of everything because not only is it hilarious, but it is also the kind of shit that actually happens on a set. Like, people think, oh, it's fabulous, it's glamorous. It's like, actually, no, it's someone coming up, this umbrella or that one.
Yeah.
What kind of mud?
Which mud?
The fucking thing's not working.
Yes.
And just Jen getting in that car as they're chasing her and she's like, bye. Like, I can't.
I've looked
I
at,
get it.
I've
I
looked
kinda
at
get
the
it.
mud and I made my decision, and now you just fucking deal with the mud. I'm going.
Yeah.
So my other favorite moment happens just after this, like kind of concurrently, because someone forgot to get the driver to sign a release, so he's blurry. And I'm wondering if Stella from Mariah's World is producing it. Or her 12-year-old daughter who hasn't aged a day.
Yeah, it's actually Trailer Ends. He said, I can't be in it. I said I wasn't in Mariah's. I can't be in yours either.
I can't be in this one either. Jen has a freak out because she's doing everything. She's writing, she's acting, she's financing, she's dancing, she's choreographing, even though we've seen 2 other choreographers credited on screen.
Literally what I was going to say.
But sure, Jen, you take that fucking credit.
Yeah. 1 word, 1/3. 1 step, 1/3.
Yeah. It's, There've been 2 choreographers credited on screen, and she says she's choreographing it. So now I know how she thinks she sang all those songs.
Yes, because she was there. Maybe.
She was improving mud while Shanti was in the studio.
Yes.
She was having a very intense mud discussion, an umbrella discussion.
She brought in the Nespresso. She's like, I brought the Nespresso. This is my song now. That's just how she showed up in the first place.
Like, that was a moment. Like, I'm choreographing. You are not choreographing it. We've seen 3 different people. Like, by the end of this, there's 8 different choreographers. But apparently she's choreographing everything. Just take that credit. It's all Ben writing the script. Like, everyone's had a go at this. Anyway, Benny has a very terse meeting about the seat backs on the director's chairs.
Yeah.
And Jen insists that she's using her artistry to prove that love exists, and she starts crying again. Stop saying artist. She's a fucking artist hole. Shut up with your art hole. The first week of production, and there are lots of sets being dressed with rain and flowers. Then Jen starts talking about J-Lo as if she's a different person. Yeah. She tells us the movie is about who she really is, and she's not who she was 20 years ago. We see her walking on broken glass, and it's in a totally green room. And I'm wondering, was any of this movie real? Like, did they do this whole film in post?
I think so.
Which
is wild, and it looks like it's wild that it looks so good.
I know. It looks like she basically made the movie the same way we did make this podcast, with just weird shit in the background that's not really there.
Yeah. Which one is better? We'll never know. But there's no one objective enough to find out. So
yeah, no one's prepared to sit through all of our podcasts and this movie.
And all of her movies.
It's so weird. So then Jen tells the dancers about the last time she broke up with Ben, and how it was 3 days before they were getting married with 14 ushers, which, if you do the math, is a triple DP and half of the ushers each.
Yeah,
so triple DP and a half of ushers each.
Yeah.
I think that's how that math works.
It's math works for me.
Then she does the acting in Love Addicts Anonymous. Then she talks about how she didn't just lose Ben, the fiance, but her best friend. No. Then there's slow motion dancing. Then she starts singing Broken Like Me on the couch. Then Ben's saying how the script makes it look like the inciting incident was their breakup 20 years ago, and he thought it was mutual. But he thinks for them to heal, they have to forgive each other. And he asks if she forgives him. And she shakes her head.
I know.
That is a moment.
Yeah. It was basically like the final scene with Mariah and Monique.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Mariah asking, we need to talk about the violence in your house. And Monique's like, that's what Jen's doing here.
Yep.
She's like, you think you know every fucking thing?
Oh,
No,
my God.
I don't forgive you.
So, as I'm recovering from this bombshell of her shaking her head and going, you are not forgiven, I'm like, and you fucking married him again? Jennifer Lewis arrives.
Oh, J-Lo is
She
everything.
arrives on the green screen set in her stupid costume with a walker. And she is heaven. She's like, I'm going to cut a bitch if J-Lo isn't here for my cameo.
No.
Then she rags out J-Lo saying she's got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Why would I even turn up for this, even if it is for J-Lo? I'm J-Lo. She's the best. Then Jen Reg
So
is
fun.
explaining the Zodiac sequence while the sign by Ace of Base plays. Because again, Jen's artistry has not managed to make an appropriate number for this sequence.
Yes.
And then there's cameos. Jennifer Lewis calls Gemini that split bitch.
Yes.
I couldn't love her anymore. Then there's a weird bit with Sofia Vergara that wasn't in the movie.
Wasn't in the movie.
And so now I want to know what they cut out. I want to know how many things they cut out and why they all involved Sofia Vergara. Also, amazing moment of Sofia Vergara not understanding the script because the script makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Going, I fucking hate English. And it's like, it's not English, honey. It's
It's Jinglish.
It's Jinglish. Then it's the intervention scene and the kid with the gun falling out makes Ben laugh. And the kid gets...
Wonder what he's thinking about watching that. Wonder
like,
which of Jen's exes that's about.
Yes, the P. Diddy scene, isn't it? Yeah. The kid gets totally starstruck by, this kid in your background gets totally starstruck by Ben Affleck and asks when he and Jen are going to make a movie together. And then he brings up, as he says
Jiggly.
it, jiggly.
Jiggly. Yeah.
Which, that's why I'm convinced that movie failed. It was nothing to do with them being on the nose. It was nothing to do with it being possibly the worst film ever made and amazing. But I think it was because people kept going to the box office to say, I'll have 2 tickets to Can I say Lord of the Rings?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it was unpronounceable. It was terrible. Also, she's the least convincing lesbian I've ever seen. When Jiggly comes up, they both look stricken. They're like, that word was never to be spoken, ever, on this set. Who's not told him?
Yes.
Then...
I did love as well where, like, Jen made a bit of a, self-referencing joke where she was like, yeah, that's why we've never made another one. Which I was like, oh, funny. And then she immediately turns around and goes, but we will, though. Like, to him, like, as if to be like... We will at some point make another movie.
I'm not going to be in any of these
like,
movies.
no,
I'm not even in this one. Then, just like when you think this movie isn't the most fucked thing you've ever seen, and somehow more fucked than the movie that it's the making of, Elaine starts randomly singing "Broken Like Me."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening in this film?
Well, do you know what it is? Jen said, I need to sound good. So we'll get Elaine to sing it.
Make Elaine
And then
sing
people will
my
be
song.
like, oh. And then people will be like, Jen sounds great.
Jen's voice is amazing compared to Elaine.
Yeah.
I love Elaine so much. Like, Elaine is
too.
my favorite character in this film, other than
was so shocked
Ben's
that-
shade.
Yes. I was so shocked that Elaine has actually been around since 99. Like
Yeah.
the beginning of the career. I was like, okay.
Elaine has shepherded a lot.
Yes. And continues to.
She's dealt with a lot. Oh my God, so funny. Then Dave and Elaine have a fight over the extra $200,000 they need for the fucking guru. I don't know why the guru is so expensive, but Jen tells them to talk about it somewhere else because she's doing her makeup. Like
I love it. She's like he's asking you to be quiet, Elaine. Like just this interjection of like, she's like la 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 la. He's asking you to be quiet, Elaine. La 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 la. Like,
because she does say early in the film, like, I can't have any budget talk when I'm on set because it'll distract me.
Yes.
Which is exactly what this is. And she's like,
I wrote this down. Don't bother me while we're shooting. It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
But you know what? I was like, I kind of get it. But
yeah.
also, I'm like, at least she's aware that when she's in performer mode, she's a monster.
Yeah.
Like, I actually try it.
I said it's a similar thing at when I was making Outland. I was like, I don't come at me with script questions when we're doing the acting bit because there's many people involved in the scripting and I can't just make a unilateral decision here.
Yes.
Just because we've had a conversation in the makeup trailer and I've said, yeah, you should say it like that. When that's not my decision.
Can we please do a follow-up to Outland called Genland where you play J-Lo?
Oh yeah.
It's just this movie.
It's just this movie
as a TV series.
And me just refusing. Like, you can't have this conversation in front of me because this is a money conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm very busy with makeup.
Yes.
This is a makeup moment. This isn't a money moment.
Yeah, and just like specifically this is from my performing makeup.
Yeah.
So that it's an extension of me performing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the $200,000 for the fucking guru. Elaine says she's standing on the sidelines in case Jen needs a body double.
I love Elaine.
No, I couldn't love her. I love her almost as much as J-Lo. I'm just here in case Jen needs a body double.
And she doesn't say it with any like emphasis on it. It's she's joking, but she doesn't need to tell us she's joking.
No, we know. Yeah. Then they filmed The Many Weddings, and Derek Huff, who was in a real wedding, can't get his head around what he's doing at this wedding. And you know what? It's really lucky he's pretty and he can dance. I don't know why he was so confused by this, but he was.
No.
But then maybe, I've seen the movie, so I get why he was confused by it because it makes no fucking sense.
Weirdly, I feel like the wedding part is the one bit that did make sense.
Yeah.
Like I was like, they actually did a good job of making you realize it was 3 weddings.
Yeah.
Like, that was fun.
But Derek doesn't understand that.
Derek doesn't get it.
Derek doesn't get that there's other people getting married.
I am in a feud with Derek Huff.
Oh, I love when you're in a feud. What's your feud with Derek Huff about? I feel like we need a theme tune for Posh is in a feud.
Yeah. Feud
Posh is in a feud. Posh is in a feud. Who's his feud?
Oh my God. Yes, I love it. So he used to be a contestant or, like one of the dancers on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Then he became a judge.
Yes.
Then Melanie C was on Dancing with the Stars and was objectively wonderful.
Yes.
But there was like some weird split vote at some point. And so then it came down to her and Felicity. No, it wasn't Felicity Huffman's kid. It was the other Laura Layton. No, not Laura Layton. That's Melrose Place. The one who was, I think, part of like Full House or some shit like that. No, was it
the one who you're thinking of Felicity Huffman because she and Felicity Huffman were in the scandal of paying their kids to go.
The other one.
Yeah, the other one. She was in a Larry Sanders deal. Laurie Loughlin,
yes. Yeah. Not Laura Layton.
Close. Not Laura Layton.
So Laurie Loughlin, it's like her daughter or something was on there. One who didn't get into college or did get into college because of... Yeah. So now she's making money off of it, which she shouldn't be making money off it, babe. Mm-hmm. And all of the other judges voted for Mel C to stay.
Yes.
Except Derek Huff. He voted for the other one. And then the final judge, I think he's dead now, Lenny Henry? It was Lenny Henry. I think his name was Len. So he got like more than one vote.
Is it Len Wiseman?
And so
something like that.
Something.
Yeah.
And so he ended up kicking out Mel C. And I was
Oh.
like, hang on a second, but everyone else voted for Mel C to say. The only one who didn't was Derek Huff, and that's what caused like the issue. So I'm like, I don't like it.
Yep.
I do not like it.
Yep. That's an understandable feud.
Yeah.
Posh
so it's very
is
fair.
having
So,
a
you know.
feud. He's in a feud. Posh is having a feud. He's in a feud. Thank you for Posh is having a feud.
Stay tuned for Poshy's having a food, which happens the rest of the time. So it's like the rest of my life.
That's
I'm having a food.
That's not a thing that needs a theme song, because that is a streaming special that goes all day.
Yes.
So after Derek proves that he's dumb as a box of ham, Jen is watching the monitor and talking
Sorry,
about.
do you remember your Twitter account called Box of Hair?
Oh, I had that was secret. That wasn't really me.
Oh, sorry. La la la.
Box of
I
hair
have
was
a
just
down.
yeah. Box of hair was really dumb and just got angry about nothing and wrote all in caps all the time. Oh my god, the box of hair, bless. I used to work with someone who I called the box of hair.
You
I
can
can't
edit it
tell
out.
you, but they used to make me explain things that were patently obvious to everyone. I don't know if people would know what that is. You might need to explain it. Okay.
Oh God.
Parliament is the lawmaking body.
What era would this have been in?
A long time ago. A job I maybe did for 10 years. There were many people who
Yeah.
could have been the box of hair. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure I know which one it was, but all right.
Yeah. Anyway, Jen's watching the monitor and seeing all the wedding business take place and talking about being married for 11 months and then a year and then 10 years. Like 10 years isn't a miracle in Hollywood. She says like, oh, then 10 years. Like it was like as much as a year or 11 months. I'm like, it's a long time, Jennifer. That's like a decade.
It's pretty
That's
good,
like,
yeah.
You know, it's a quarter of your life. Well, a fifth, but you know, she pretends otherwise. She's got kids, like who we never see, by the way. Apparently, Stella's daughter couldn't get them to sign the release.
No. Well, we're with Mariah this week because there's only one set of twins.
There's only one set of twins in Hollywood. That's true. Jen says, for about the 15th time in this movie, and it's starting to give me the shits, this has never been done before. And maybe that should have been something she thought about, because there's probably a reason this has never been done before. And that's because it's a fucked idea. There's probably a reason they withdrew the $30 million funding, because it's fucked and it's never been done before. And it's, anyway. Then Jen goes through a truck, as can be seen behind me. Says, my money's paying for all this, whatever this is, whatever the hell that is. And everything she touches, Ben knows what it is and says it out loud, because he's directed a film and he's aware of how necessary all these things are. Then the song Money plays, because again, Jen didn't have anything appropriate in her catalogue.
Not De Niro.
No.
Definitely not that song.
No, not De
Actually a decent
Niro.
song.
Not My Love Don't Cost a Thing. Not Don't Be Fooled by the Rock's Gonna Go. Nothing about money in her back catalogue at all.
Nothing.
I had to play the song Money. Then the guru turns up. And
Yes.
I don't know how it was $200,000, but there's the guru. Then Jen orders that young Jen be dirtied up and bashed a bit more.
Yeah.
She needs to look more bashed up.
Show us the photo of Nicole Kidman again. That's what she needs to look like.
No, not Nicole now. Nicole's skin on the floor of the surgery
Yeah.
before they
Benny,
break it
get your
into the
fleshlight, would
fleshlight.
you?
Fleshlight. Jen says she was a tomboy when she was young.
Do you know what that is?
Do you know what that is? She asks the girl in this era of gender as a construct. We don't talk about tomboys anymore. But good on you, Jen, for living in the past. Then she shows some photos of when she was younger and explains that she was the Jan Brady of her family.
She was, bless.
And she had to invent a boyfriend called George Glass to get any attention. No, she became athletic and won medals.
Yeah.
Then she talks about being ignored by her dad, who worked nights and slept all day, and her mum was a narcissist and the life of the party.
God.
And the apple has clearly not fallen far from that tree.
I could not believe that she actually called her mum a narcissist when they're still in each other's lives.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I did like,
But also,
How-
without any self-awareness, she called someone else a narcissist.
yeah, she's such a narcissist.
Such a narcissist. And
she-
while her current husband is talking about how every bit of her life has to be documented on fucking Instagram and YouTube. But no, her mum's a narcissist.
I did kind of like hearing about the athletic stuff because I was
Yeah.
like, this makes a lot of sense.
Competitive.
In terms of, I didn't realize she was a middle child. I was
Middle
like,
child,
right,
trying to
you were
prove
trying
something.
to prove something, carve out an identity.
Yes.
And it became your whole identity.
Yeah.
And that's why your work ethic is on fire.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about the fact that we got to see the dad, which I don't think we'd ever seen him before.
No, he was asleep.
And oh my God, he looks exactly like her.
I know.
Like the mum looks like her, but he looks exactly like. I was
Yeah.
like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Where's
The angles.
Wonder what
He's got the angles. 'Cause
Angles,
She's
and I
very
wonder-
angular.
You know, she looks great. He might still look amazing.
Hey,
He might secretly be a supermodel somewhere.
is he still
you know?
with us?
I don't know. He doesn't get much of a mention.
She's of an age.
Yeah. I'm going to Google it. Sing the Posh Google song.
Posh Google. Posh sometimes has to look up things in the middle of the podcast. Posh Google. Posh has to find out things that he didn't know before we started recording. Posh Google.
His
Posh
name
is really
David
excited
Lopez.
about whether or not J-Lo's dad is alive. It's a death search for Posh on the Google.
I'm trying to. I found his name's David.
I'm sorry, I've lost my mind. This movie is
I don't think he's dead.
He's probably not dead.
Do you know who is dead?
Who is dead?
DeBrat's grandma. Absolutely. For sure. We know it. We've got it in writing. DeBrat's grandma.
Also,
she's
she
dead.
was mean about the lesbianism.
Yeah. We're not entirely sure where she went once she died. But she's definitely dead.
Look, she's probably in heaven for her, but which is in lesbian hell. They're two different places.
I really want to go to lesbian hell. Just quietly. I would enjoy that. Anyway.
Is he still alive? You don't know. You can't find him.
I think he is. But I was just now thinking about lesbian hell, and I think that so lesbian heaven, they'd be playing Xena and Ellen and those stereotypes from the 90s. That's all lesbian.
A lot of indigo girls, four non-blondes,
Yes,
Annie
KG,
DeFranco.
absolutely.
Yes.
And lesbian hell would just be Hercules, the Legendary Journeys, and other Kevin Sorbo projects.
Yes. And also the
So,
pool table has 3 missing balls and a broken pool cue.
Yeah. So actually, I don't want to go there. That sounds awful. Yeah. Lesbian hell is also Phil hell.
Yeah. Lesbian Hell is a karaoke night where all of the Pat Benatar songs don't work.
I know. I would hate that. Yeah.
Yes, it's Lesbian Hell.
Absolutely. All right. I want to go to lesbian heaven. It's been decided.
Yeah, okay, good. Oh my God. So Ben explains everything that Jen just said about being neglected as a child because it needs to be restated. And he compares Jen's music and film career to being an alcoholic.
Oh, God. Which, you know what? I feel like we've done that. He might have been listening along to this podcast. He's like, I can't bring myself to listen to her music, but I can listen to the podcast.
Oh, these
about her
guys are
music.
doing like a précis of her song so I can pretend that I'm up to
Yes.
date and I'll have a listen and oh yeah, she sounds really fucking needy, doesn't she? But like, yeah, he talks about alcoholism and, you know, being a way to get away from your problems and being, you know, those kind of addictive behaviors. But the fact that he compares her film career and her music career to alcoholism is a red flag. means he doesn't take her seriously, and he maybe is not on the same page as everyone that's calling her an artist every 2 minutes. Maybe he also thinks she's an arts hole. Then Jen does some gym share, talks about how her messy hair reminds her of running up and down the block in the Bronx, which we have discussed many times already because it's been viral on the internet, the running around the block. I love that you are now making your hair messy, so it's time to go.
But it was impossible. My hair's just so beautiful.
Fat Joe talks about her early career, and they play some of her annoying Fat Joe songs.
Can I just say here, I did watch someone like review this, like a comedy review of it. And you know how we were making the joke about Medium Joe? How he's not Fat Joe anymore? I'm so annoyed that this person made the same joke, but better when they called him Average Joe. I was like, what is wrong with both of us? We suck.
No, really, we should have called him Regular Joe.
Well, we did. We actually did.
Well, then
we did call it
much
Regular
better,
Joe.
because that's on
You're
brand
right.
for us to call things regular.
Yeah, no, you're right. We went straight from medium to regular.
Yeah.
We just missed average in the movie.
No, he was
you're
always
right.
Average Joe.
We are better.
Even when he was Fat
we are
Joe,
better.
he was Average Joe.
Yeah.
So Fat Joe talks about her early career. They play their terrible songs. Then we see them filming all of the psychiatry scenes. And that takes about 2 seconds because then she calls Jane Fonda. And Jane
We
Fonda,
get another phone call of her explaining.
I love Jen's planning phone call. So Jane Fonda says when she sees photos of her and Ben, it's like they're trying too hard to pretend that they're in love. Jen looks stricken, like okay. Then we get some fun flashbacks to Monster-in-Law, which is amazing.
I was really surprised that I really thought that scene with Jen getting her head smashed into the cake.
Yes.
I really assumed it would have been like a body double or something.
No, it was
I was
Jen.
really shocked to see
When Jen
and
had,
that she was not
like,
mad about it.
and just like going, I've got to stop. I'm laughing.
Yeah, I think that it always surprises me when I see this kind of thing because even though we see her obviously working very hard, I have this image of her not ever wanting to get messy or dirty or anything. But then it's like, well, she's in the rain in this. Like, you know, she does.
She had a 4-hour discussion about what fucking type of mud she was going to be playing around in.
Yes.
So
it's like, hey, Jen does get dirty. I appreciate it.
Look, Monster-in-Law is not a great film, but
It is a great film.
they
What
are
are you talking
great
about?
in it.
How dare you?
Look,
That is the godfather of our time. and I won't
I'm
hear
very
anything
good
else.
friends with Michael Vartan, and I don't think he's ever done anything good.
No, well, he's not very good at it. He's the most vanilla of all of her vanilla
Plus, he's
boyfriends
got
from
so
the
many
rom-com.
weird, like, prison tattoos that it's...
But I think does he?
Poker with him one
Wanda
time.
Sykes.
Fun.
Wanda Sykes makes up for it.
Wanda Sykes is amazing in everything.
You know. And Elaine Stritch.
Oh, yeah. I know.
So
look,
you're wrong.
It's,
It's a great piece of cinema. Don't know what you're talking about.
but yeah, it's fun seeing scenes from that, especially the head bashed into the cake several times moment.
good.
Very funny. So that I adored. Then we see Jane giving Jen her star on the Walk of Fame, and I am having flashbacks to this week's Mariah's World because Jen is just kind of strewn across the star, like she's constantly posing, and I'm like, oh my god, are we in Lake Como again?
I mean, if it was really like Mariah, one of the twins would be saying "Mummy, Mummy," and she'd be like, "Go away." Like she's like smiling at him as someone grabs him, like, "Okay, Rock, it's fine." But Mummy's posing.
And also, they would need 6 people to lift her back up again. As a moment, it was a moment. I had a moment.
It was a moment.
Then Jen basically begs Jane Fonda to be in the movie on camera, and it is ugly. It is ugly, like grasping moment, and I was embarrassed for her in
I know
that movie.
I do love how like direct, and not in an unkind way, but Jane's super honest with her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. I don't know if this is the right move.
Yeah, Jane's like,
Like,
I think you're making things worse by making this. Like, it's
Yeah.
it's going to put a strain on your relationship because
And it seemed a genuine care. Like, she's
Yeah.
just like, you don't
she's
need
like,
this.
yeah, I don't like, yeah. It's yeah. I think Jane is amazing. It just made me love her even more than I already do.
Yeah.
And she's got 2 Oscars. She can just throw it about. Jen's never even had a nom. Then Ben talks.
Just ask her. She'll tell you.
She'll tell you. She did a whole documentary on that. That's the other thing. How many fucking documentaries is this bitch going to make about her life? Like, really? I still love that one. Like, what is the documentary from where she goes back to the house and she's like, I used to live here.
all of... yeah.
And the guys go, who are you? I'm Jennifer Lopez. Who's that?
Who? I think it's all... Me. I'm Jennifer Lopez. I think all of that is from Halftime.
Right.
Like,
so
I think
funny.
it's the Oscar and the Halftime and the house. Yeah, I think it's all in that.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Yeah, we need to watch it.
But not this week.
No, for a while.
Because I am really struggling to be alive.
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck out.
Just walk away.
Walk away.
You tacky regular bitch.
Regular.
Get the fuck right out of my face.
Regular bitch. All right, we're almost home. I thought I was going to get through it, but I didn't.
I know. There's so much going on.
There's
Are we
a
gonna,
lot.
is it going to wrap up? Are we gonna get to the end of this documentary and be like, I get it now?
Yeah, I suspect we're not. Because
Probably not.
we've been watching it for a while and
Yeah.
it's still got plenty to go. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Although I hope there's more Ben shade because that's my favourite thing.
And J-Lu.
Oh, J-Lo.
Yeah.
I ache for J-Lo. All right. Join us next Monday when we will wrap up the greatest love story never told.
It'll finally be told. We'll know.
All right. Bye, Emily.
Bye.
Me.